Okay, well, let's go ahead and get started. Hello, friends, and welcome back to our final Lunch and Learn. I'm National Sales Director Kristin Sharpe, and I'm so glad you have joined us on this Wednesday as we unpack the final chapter of John C. Maxwell's new book, Power Number 5, which is Significance. And what I love about this chapter, you guys, is John opens up this chapter talking about the book that his assistant gave him, okay? And wasn't that so great? Because on this book, she, on the outside, had it say, the greatest story ever told. And John talks about in this chapter that when he opened up the pages of the book, they were blank. But his assistant had wrote him a note inside. And it said, John, your life is before you. It went on to say, fill these pages with acts of good thoughts and matters of your heart. You write a great story with your life. Well, you guys, I read this and I loved this example, didn't you? Because it was such a reminder that we get to design the life that we want. So I want you to think about that. What does a successful life look like to you? I'd love for you to put that in the comments. What does a successful life look like to you? You know, I think when you ask most of the national sales directors in Mary Kay this question, you're probably going to hear a wide range of answers. Now, one thing that's so cool about our leadership conference that's coming up in Orlando is that sales directors get the honor to watch the retiring NSDs at leadership conference on stage as they retire. And you guys, I've been to, I think 13 now leadership conferences. And of course, my mom has been a retired NSD now for almost a year. And not once during these speeches are these Mary Kay National Sales Directors ever talking about really themselves. What you'll see is that they're talking about the significance and what they have done for others and what Mary Kay has brought them through serving others. It's so true. And I get it. NSD, the position isn't for everyone. I totally believe it's a calling on your life, right? But their speeches are always about their directors, their families, or the ways that they have served and what has come back and unfolded in their lives, because that's what they choose to highlight in their speeches, which is what I love. And it just was a reminder because I just got back from Kentucky. I was a part of National Sales Director Linda Tupin's finale. If you were at that finale, give me some hearts. Tell me, Kristin, I was there. There were so many people there. There was I saw on Facebook, I'm like, oh my gosh, she was there. I didn't even see her. So if I didn't see you and hug you, I'm sorry. I wanted to see you, but there was just so many people there to celebrate, right? But I wanted to bring this up because this weekend, I saw in action Linda Tupin highlight her directors, her family at her final event, bring them across stage. You guys, she even brought up her accountant, okay? Larry at Wholesale Tapes that recorded some of her first trainings. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is significance in action. It just showed the power of what can come from one woman whose life is to really serve and give back to other people. If you were there, wasn't it just the most incredible event? I know, you're like, yes, it was. Okay, so in this chapter, number 5, the final chapter, John says that most leaders experience a shift from success to significance at some point in their life. And that's what I saw all over this past weekend with Linda Tupin. It had majorly shifted several years ago from success to significance. But her event, the finale, was truly, I just sat there and thought, wow, look at the significance that she has added to other people's lives. And you guys, success is about yourself. I love how John says that. Significance is about others. Success is about yourself. Significance is about others. And I think about this. Mary Kay Corporate could take away the cars, the trips, the diamonds, the prizes, you guys, and I still would do what I do. Why? Because those are just the perks of the job. The real value of doing Mary Kay and being a leader is the legacy that it's leaving my family and the sales directors and the women that I lead. That, to me, is what's most important, the significance piece. So, you guys, I want you to create a life of significance. And I hope that that's what you want, especially after reading this chapter. Some of you maybe have not even thought that thought yet, but what is creating a life of significance? What would that look like? Well, if you haven't fully read this chapter, John really dissects this. And he says, ask yourself, what can I do intentionally to add value to other people every day? Every day. And in this chapter, John really gives us 4 steps to becoming significant. So I wanted to review these today, but also you guys, I want to encourage you to go back and reread this, okay? So the first one that he outlines says, I want to make a difference. Make your life count. And John shares vividly how he remembers watching Reese Witherspoon. Oh my gosh, who loves Reese? I love her because she's like the epitome of Southern, which I love. Okay. But he talks about how she was accepting the Oscar for the Best Actress and her portrayal of June Carter in Walk the Line. Do you guys remember that? And she said that people often asked June how she was doing. And June would say, I'm just trying to matter. I'm just trying to matter. You guys, aren't we all just trying to matter? If that's you, yes, I read this and I'm like, yes, that is me. That is me. Okay, so we all want to matter to someone and we all want to make a difference. And that is us, that is us wanting to do something more, I guess is the best way for me to say that. To have a life of significance, it's so much more than us. It's so much more than us. And when I read this, I'm like, yes, I want to matter. I want to give back. And gosh, that's probably why I'm so in love with Mary Kay Cosmetics. Well, in this chapter, John also talks about the significance boomerang. Did you guys read that? And when I heard that, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so similar to the golden rule. Did anyone else think that? You're like, oh my gosh. So basically, the significance boomerang that John talks about is when you make a difference in the lives of others, it comes back to you. Just like we talk about our golden rule, okay? Now, again, it reminds me, I don't even know how many times in these lives I've talked about this, but our sweet Mary Kay Ash, right? She taught us the principle in all of her books that to pretend like someone has a sign around their neck that says, make me feel important. So, I want you to think about this. How can you make others feel important? Well, I think you can start today, right? And you can start small. Find ways to make people feel like they matter. One of the easiest ways that I do this is by writing handwritten notes. I write a lot because I really feel like it's personal. They see my handwriting. They know that I took the time to really think through, even if it's just a couple lines of what that person means to me or something that I noticed about them. I also love to share with people, eyeball to eyeball, heart to heart, words of encouragement and to acknowledge when I see them doing something great. And these are 2 things, you guys, that I think are easy that you can start to do today. So, bottom line is, when you see someone doing something great, working hard, or expanding their comfort zone, or maybe being kind, tell them. Point it out to them. Highlight it, you guys. And this is true not only in your Mary Kay business, but just doing life with your kids, with your husband. It's amazing when you highlight someone doing something great, how it makes them feel, but also how it makes you feel, right? Okay, number 2. John talks about doing something that makes a difference. Find your purpose, okay? Find your purpose. And he used the example of Harold Kushner. He wrote, our souls are hungry for meaning, for the sense that we have figured out how to live so that our lives matter, so that the world will at least be a little different for us having passed through it, okay? And I loved that. John included that in the book. He also, you guys, gives us 4 steps to finding our purpose. And I really hope you'll take the time to do this exercise, okay? In a nutshell, he says, start with 1 word. What is the word that describes you? Now, I don't know when you did this exercise, but I'm like, oh my gosh, 1 word. I just had to start writing down words. Or did some of you automatically just know your word? That was not me. If you know your word, write it down. Let us know in the comments, okay, what your word was. But I had to really kind of brain dump like all these different words. In fact, John suggests that you actually even just write down at least 5 words that describe you, okay? And then just one by one eliminate them until you get to your 1 word, okay? But basically, then this gives you your word, your full attention, okay? And what you focus on grows, right? So focus on this strength and all that you do, okay? Next, John says to ask yourself two questions. If you could do anything in this world and get paid for it, what would it be? And then write your purpose statement, okay? So the other key part of this is he told us to hang it up everywhere. Put it on your goal poster, in your phone, write it on sticky notes, like basically how we say in Mary Kay, trash your house with it, right? Okay, and then put it basically in strategic places around your house. You're like, maybe your bathroom, maybe it's, also like on your steering wheel of your car. Where are you spending the most time where you're gonna see it? Because what you focus on magnifies and multiplies. And then John talks about taking action every day on your purpose, okay? And it just brought me back to Mary Kay when she would say, inch by inch, it's a cinch. Inch by inch, it's a cinch. Basically meaning small things daily will really compound over time. Okay, now the third point on this journey of significance in chapter 5, significance that John talks about, is to be with people who want to make a difference. And John talks about joining a team. And you guys, that's exactly what we're doing in Mary Kay, right? We are a part of a team. So you're a part of our Sharpe National Area, you're a part of your unit, but you also get the opportunity to create your own team, which is so exciting. And of course, our company offers so many perks and incentives and diamonds and cash and cars for doing that. But what I love is that John says, as I look back at my team, my experience, my greatest wins have been the friendships. Did you guys pick up on that? His greatest wins have been the friendships that have formed with those people on his team. If that's you too, if you're like, oh my gosh, yes, my bestest girlfriends have come out of my starter kit, let me know. Tag them in this. I want to know who they are. But it's so true, right? For our Mary Kay business. And you guys, if you ask any top leader in Mary Kay what they love most about their business, almost always it's something about friends and relationships that they have built. So never underestimate the value of this to other women, especially when you're sharing the Mary Kay opportunity. Because the reality is, you guys, is not everyone wants to be a part of Mary Kay for extra money. Some people have enough money, or they're not even motivated by money. So here's what this chapter reminded me is our culture in Mary Kay is more valuable than gold. It's more valuable. It is so unique. And it is a culture that I believe no one else out there has. And it just makes me so grateful. So grateful. Well, as I mentioned this past weekend, I had the honor of being a part of NSD Linda Tupin's finale. She asked me like a year ago, and she was so smart because she had all of her friends that are retired or about to retire, but then she also had a small group of younger nationals like myself that have 30 plus years still in Mary Kay. And I thought, gosh, she is so smart. But you guys, one of my highlights at this finale, and this might be yours if you were there, was watching Linda and her bestest friends tell stories. Like, she brought us all on stage, but like the younger NSDs really, these stories were like back in the day where they are on top director trips. And they shared these crazy experiences and things that happened, okay? And it was just so fun because they literally had 30 years of stories. They laughed. I was laughing. I was like laughing so hard I was crying. It was so funny. And what was so fun for me just to watch is just someone up on the stage, not even necessarily at that point sharing, you guys, is to see the bonds that they had, to see that what mattered most was their friendships. And you guys, it was hilarious. Basically, total side note here, I guess like back in the day, like I think it was like 20 or 25 years ago, Pam Shaw, when they went to France on the top director trip, looked like Madonna. And so everyone thought she was Madonna, following them around everywhere. And, on top Mary Kay trips, we're all dressed to the nine and look beautiful and we have camera crews that are shooting. But like people really thought Pam was Madonna. Oh my gosh, it was so funny. Total side note there, okay? But just to see it in action was so fun. If you were there and you agree with me that display of their friendship and their bond was incredible, Give me some hearts, okay? So I know I'm not alone with that. Yes, okay. All right, so the final, number 4, you guys, step in the journey of significance that John talks about, make sure I'm referencing my notes here, is number 4, at the time when it makes a difference, be significant now. Basically, he was saying, move into action. John shared that people put off chasing significance. I thought this was interesting because they believe in order to be significant, you need a title or a position or authority or status. But you guys, that is not true. You don't have to be a national sales director to have significance. You guys, significance. When you dig into this chapter, you will realize that significance is about having a desire to add value to others, to make a positive difference in other people's lives. And if that's you, now is the time to get started. John says, all you have is now. And there will never be another now. And I love this. Don't lose today looking for now. Did anyone else highlight that? I thought that was so good. Don't lose today looking for now. John goes on to share that each person that you add value to will lead you to others. And to go back to Linda Tupin's finale, you guys, I keep talking about this because it really made an imprint in my brain. Okay. When I read this, John shares that each person that you add value to will lead you to others. Let me give you this example. So Linda Tupin talked about, like back in the day, you could put your name in the yellow pages with Mary Kay. Now, I don't think this is as successful today because I don't even have a yellow pages. I guess maybe you could look it up online, but that's beside the point. Linda talked about how this woman contacted her out of the yellow pages because she wanted some Mary Kay products. She previously had been using another brand and it was just too difficult because she lived in the boondocks of Kentucky, okay? And Linda was so smart. So when this woman called her saying, hey, I need some products, Linda said, absolutely. She drove an hour and a half and she facialed the woman because Mary Kay Ash said, you never just deliver products. You must facial someone, right? So that's what Linda did. You guys, this woman came back to Linda's finale and Linda introduced her as this woman that found her out of the yellow pages. But because Linda added value to her, because she built a connection, because this woman trusted her and liked her, she held a Mary Kay party. And what Linda demonstrated at her finale was the thousands of lives, okay, and the countless sales directors, because they were crossing the stage, the lineage. So she brought this woman on stage, okay, her customer, and she told the story. She basically said, in 1981, I don't remember this lady's name, Sally Smith held an appointment with me, okay? I went to go give her product, I facialed her. She booked a party on this date. She had her date booked too. That was what was amazing, to show proof that she did this. And she said at that party, she invited these 5 people. And then she showed the recruits and the sales directors that came from that lineage, okay? So this woman who called her to order products, okay, sat on stage as the hundreds of people started to cross the stage that were connected to Linda Tupin going and driving an hour and a half to deliver products / facial her. And I was like, whoa, it really made me think twice about making sure I deliver products and facial everyone. It was so powerful. And I read this in the book where John shares that each person that you add value to will lead you to others. Because here now, over 30 some years later, this woman shows up at Linda's finale. And to sit there and to see how that appointment with that one woman resulted in a huge portion of Linda's downline and Linda's organization and the success of her career. You guys, it was so incredible to watch. If you were there and that made an impact, just give me some hearts. Wasn't that the coolest thing to see? Okay, so basically, in this chapter, John talks about helping one is the catalyst to helping many. He says, start with one, and that's exactly what Linda did. So, do for one, this was key in this book, you guys, that you wish you could do for many. So soon, you will have the opportunity to help many. Wow. Well, you guys, we've come to an end of this book club. Wasn't this so much fun? You guys, I have to tell you, this all originated because my friend at John Maxwell's office called me to tell me about this book. I read it and I first said, oh my gosh, this is such a great book. I should give this to my sales directors as a Christmas gift. And then I thought, gosh, this is so good. I need all of my consultants in my Sharpe National area to read this book. I should do some online book club with this. And then I was reading this and I thought, wow, What would really grow me is to do Facebook Lives, which I really hadn't done prior to this, like live, like recorded videos, yes, like lives, no. And share this with the entire Mary Kay world. So thank you for being a part of this, you guys. It has been fun, even though at first I was a little hesitant. If you had fun, give me some hearts, okay? My heart was that you enjoyed this as much as I did. I really love spending my Wednesdays, my coffee, and my lunch hour with you. I hope you have too. So as a reminder, as we close this out, remember, John is donating $1 to our Mary Kay Charitable Foundation for every book purchased through the link. You got to use the link though. And the donation is valid through October 31st. So there's still time. MaxwellPowerOf5.com/leader. So maybe tag a friend if you're like, girl, you need to get this book. So, and remember that link gives you to it for $12 plus $1 goes to the Charitable Foundation. And you can only get this book on John's website. It is not on Amazon. It's not at Barnes & Noble, okay? Also, some of you have messaged me. Yes, I'm going to leave these live videos up on my Kristin Sharpe NSD Facebook page so you can reference them. I'm also going to put them on my Kristin Sharpe NSD YouTube channel, which really doesn't have a lot of stuff, but I'm going to start adding more now that I've expanded my comfort zone on these videos, okay? And so I know with my Facebook page, like as I post, they might move down. It might be harder to find. And so I'll put them on my Kristin Sharpe NSD YouTube channel as well, okay? So in John's words, okay, I loved when he said this, so I want to end with this. I felt like he was talking about Mary Kay Cosmetics when he said this. He was really saying this about the entire direct selling profession, but I'm going to put Mary Kay into this, okay? Mary Kay makes you a better person. Would you not agree? Mary Kay allows you to add value to those around you. Our business enhances your income. It helps you develop lifelong relationships, right? Our business helps you provide options for your life. In Mary Kay, we all start on a level playing field, which I so appreciate, with our $100 starter kit, right? Everyone starts the same. I love how fair our company is. Mary Kay exposes you to incredible experiences. It allows you to be a part of a great team. It lets you learn while you earn, and it increases your influence. Lastly, I want to share with you the Power of 5 mantra that John shares on page 96. He says, every day I will grow because growth matters. Every day I'll connect because connection matters. Every day I'm going to think successfully because mindset matters. And every day I'm going to lead because leadership matters. Every day I'm going to add value because significance matters. You guys have a great Wednesday and a great October finish. Bye, my friends, and thank you so much for joining me in this book club. It has been so much fun, and I've so enjoyed our time together. Bye for now.